All right, everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA, and this is my update for Wednesday, January 20th. We have a new president and a new vice president, ladies and gentlemen. Like many of you, I had the inauguration playing this morning as I was doing some work. I thought it was a lovely ceremony, different than what we've seen in the years past, but still stately and presidential nonetheless, as expected. Donald Trump was not in attendance at the inauguration and swearing-in ceremonies, and Trump said that this morning he wanted to say goodbye, but hopefully it's not a long-term goodbye. He said, "We'll see each other again." We'll have to wait and see what that means. In his inaugural address, Joe Biden said, "This is America's day. This is democracy's day." And he reiterated his calls to unity among all Americans, similar to the statements he has made since the election. And in a few hours, shortly after the Senate comes in at 4 p.m., three new Democratic senators, Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, who won their respective Georgia Senate races earlier this month, along with Alex Padilla, who is Kamala Harris's appointed replacement in the Senate. These three senators will be sworn in later today. And let us not forget what Joe Biden said a little over 2 weeks ago. On Monday, January 4th, the day before the Georgia runoff elections, Joe Biden said that if the Democrats, Ossoff and Warnock, won both Georgia Senate seats, the $2,000 checks will go out the door. Let's hold him to that. Let's not let that be an empty campaign promise. Word on the street right now is that a massive COVID relief bill is not likely to be passed until next month or possibly even March. However, next week, the House of Representatives may pass new legislation specifically just for vaccines and for stimulus checks. So it's looking like Biden has not forgotten the promise he made that if Dems won in both Georgia Senate races, the boosted stimulus check would go out the door. Right now, this is all from anonymous sources, but I frankly wouldn't be surprised if this happens. Biden wants to come in, score an easy win, right? An easy one would be putting money in the pockets of the American people, as well as allocating money toward vaccine funding. Will enough Republicans in the Senate support it? We'll have to see. At 5:15 Eastern Time today, Biden will sign several executive orders. I've gone over several of these earlier this week. They include the 100 Days Masking Challenge, in which Biden asked the American people to do their part and mask up for 100 days. Masks and physical distancing will also be required in all federal buildings. Biden will sign an executive order to re-engage the United States with the World Health Organization. Biden will also sign an executive order to create the position of COVID-19 Response Coordinator. This individual will report directly to the president and be responsible for coordinating all elements of the COVID-19 response across the government. As mentioned earlier this week, today Biden will call on the CDC to extend the federal eviction moratorium until at least March 31st. Today, Biden will also extend the student loan pause through September 30th. He will rejoin the United States to the Paris Climate Change Agreement. He will sign an executive order to address the climate crisis and advance environmental justice, including directing all executive departments and agencies to review and take appropriate action to address any Trump-era regulations or actions that were harmful to public health or to the environment. Biden will sign an executive order that will, quote, begin the work of embedding equity across federal policymaking and rooting out systemic racism and other barriers to opportunity from federal programs and institutions. This executive order will define equity as the consistent and systematic, fair, just, and impartial treatment of all individuals, including individuals who belong to underserved communities. This executive order will direct every federal agency to review the state of equity within their respective agencies and to deliver an action plan within 200 days to address unequal barriers to opportunity in agency policies and programs. This executive order will also task the Office of Management and Budget with working to more equitably allocate federal resources to empower and invest in communities of color and other underserved communities. Biden will also sign an executive order to reverse the Trump administration's orders to exclude non-citizens from the census and apportionment of congressional representatives. Biden will fortify the Deferred Action for Deferred Childhood Arrivals, reverse the Muslim ban, stop border wall construction, fight discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation, and more. I left a document in the description below covering all of the executive orders that Joe Biden intends to sign today. So let's keep our eyes on those, as well as what Nancy Pelosi is going to do in the House. Because there are these rumors, like I said previously, that the House intends to get some points on the board for Team Biden next week by passing standalone legislation for vaccine funding, as well as for stimulus checks. All right, everybody, that is my update for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.